Here's a trip hazard to watch out for. And it's a big one. It catches most of us some of the time. So, this trip hazard to watch out for is to do with dopamine. Dopamine is our motivation hormone, and it's the thing we reach for to change the way that we feel. So, when our mood isn't quite what it should be, dopamine is the easiest one for us to reach to change the way that we feel. And we reach this, there's quick ways and slower ways to get a dopamine hit to feel better. So we can get dopamine by eating refined and sugary foods. We can get it by social media, likes, shares, follows, by binge watching a box set. We can get it in all kinds of quick ways, and whatever quick ways you have, you'll be aware of your go-to ways that you reach. And maybe you're watching your phone every second for another like or a share or a follow on social media. Or maybe you're not feeling great, and whenever you don't feel great, you're reaching for an ice cream or something, and comfort eating. Dopamine quick fix. And the reason why dopamine quick fix is not good is because in today's world, there are so many ways that we can get these releases of dopamine that we actually build up a tolerance for it. And our dopamine levels are elevated because we're keeping them falsely or artificially elevated. And then that kind of becomes the new normal, right? That becomes your threshold. And then you next time want to change the way you feel, you need at least that much before it feels the way you want it to feel. And the trouble with that is it's so easy to do that quick fix stuff, but then you've got to keep it up and up and up and up. The trouble with that is the real value dopamine is the dopamine you got to work for, not the quick fix stuff. It's going to the gym, it's breaking a sweat, it's working hard for something, it's setting a goal, it's working over time to achieve that goal, reaching that goal. The harder, slower stuff gives you dopamine releases too. Now, if you've got this constant high level of dopamine that you can easily get, and you've got these harder levels of dopamine that take longer and you've got to really work for them, in your mind, you start making a choice and you start giving the quick dopamine preference. And then you start looking at these slower, lower, longer ways of getting dopamine, and you start thinking, well, who wants to have sex tonight? I can just get on Facebook and do some scrolling. The good value stuff loses value because it's hard work to get. And that's really the thing to be aware of here, is getting a balance in your life of quick fix dopamine and longer term hardworking dopamine, which is much, much better for you. And, if we're careful about the social media and about all these quick fixes, then we can bring a balance into our life and not end up discounting all the good, solid, valuable sources of dopamine that we do have, that makes life rich and meaningful, that gives us proper, solid motivation for real foundational things, not the quick and frivolous stuff. I'm Jake from Stress Executive, helping people spot the difference between quick fix dopamine and long, low, solid dopamine, and addressing the stress to unwind the mind.